Today we are kicking off a new monthly series here on the channel, and it is going to be a month-by-month guide of what you need to be doing each month in your PTO or PTA. So this is not going to be a comprehensive list because of course every group is different, but generally use this as like a guide for like the big level things that you should be taking care of each month. So in January, as a president, you really want to be looking at the rest of the school year and figuring out kind of your big picture game plan. Check in with the individual officers to make sure they're on track, see if they need help. Sometimes people don't know how to ask for help, so it's good for you to ask them if they need that help. And then you're going to want to fill any open positions, and then also look at starting to plan out for next year. Now, January is a fantastic time to start planning for the following year because the fall semester is totally fresh in your brains, and you can figure out like what worked and what didn't work, and you're going to go ahead and use the event planning and summary guides that are in the President Success Kit so that you won't have to start from scratch next year. Because believe me, isn't it funny how we can remember some things so clearly, and then other things just like vamoose out of our heads, and we're like, I know this, but just can't remember it. So I really encourage writing everything down. It makes life so much easier. So if you don't have a copy of the President Success Kit, then you're going to want to get one, and I've dropped the link in the description below so you can snag it. As you move through the spring semester, you're going to also want to do the same thing, noting what worked, what didn't work. Do you want to repeat it? How should it be tweaked? All that kind of goodness you'll want to note as you go, and it's good to fill in your calendar for the following year because no one likes to start with a blank slate. So I am going to do another video on that topic relatively soon, so look for that one if you're interested on more about why that is. Now is also the time to start thinking about next year in terms of volunteers and leaders for your group. So you're going to want to form a nominating committee. If you are a PTA, then this is likely a job responsibility to be taken care of by your VP of membership. If you are a PTO, you might not have a separate person to do this, but basically you just want anybody but the president to be kind of recruiting new members. So you're going to want to reach out to the current not recruiting new members, new leaders, that is. So you're going to want to reach out to the current volunteers and see who wants to stay on, if they're not term limited, or what, if anything, they want to do. So I always start with they're not going to do anything and then see what they do actually want to do. How I word my asks is that I say, hey, so-and-so, I'm in charge of the nominating committee, and we're filling out the slate for this following school year. What, if anything, are you interested in doing? Because that gives someone an out. So if they have had a change in circumstance or life or something, like they got a new job and they just don't have the time that they had this year, then and they need a change, then that gives them an out it gives them an easy out, because a lot of people have a hard time saying no. So give them an easy out. You want them to take it because you don't want someone being guilted into taking a position. Next up is the fundraising chair, and you're going to want to take a look at your budget and maybe talk with the president and the treasurer and see where you are financially. Do you have a budget gap that needs to be filled? Is there an opportunity that has sprung up that you would like to pay for, you being your group? And so if you need to do an additional fundraiser, then get to it. You definitely want to be getting that fundraiser done before spring break, because in my personal experience, I found that people totally check out after spring break because the end of the school year seems near and they're already thinking about why they should support the current school instead of the school that their kid is going to be at next year, because they're already kind of jumping to that point. So just be mindful of your timing for spring fundraisers. Finally, for your family fun event or family programs chair, you're going to want to be lining up volunteers so that you can have fully staffed events and aren't running around like a crazy person during the event. So go ahead and look at your programs and events and pass around a sign-up sheet at meetings I would kind of do it for all of the events left for the rest of the year, the major ones at least, and give an opportunity for people to learn about it and sign up for it and get all the details about what's involved, how they can volunteer, if they can bring kids or not, like littles. to accompany them, all that kind of good stuff. Because really, people need to hear about things well in advance so they can take off work or adjust their schedules or get childcare or whatever. But just, you can't, if you're running like a last minute Lucy about trying to get volunteers, then people just aren't going to be available. So you really need to start earlier than you really think you should. Of course, it never hurts for all your other committee chairs and officers to kind of look ahead to the rest of the semester too. But for the most part, those are really the key roles that have something significant to kind of get the wheels turning on in January. So I hope you really enjoyed this video, and I will be releasing another video about what to do each month as a PTO leader. And most of the roles will be the same because, of course, fundraising, membership, president, and treasurer are the biggest roles, but I will be highlighting different roles as appropriate throughout the year. So look for the other videos soon. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.
Want even more guidance on how to be a stronger leader so you can run a better PTO or PTA? All these resources and more are waiting for you at ptoanswers.com.